from the mountains of Maine. I'm going to do a short, succinct core class today. And if you have any medical problems, make sure you check with your doctor. If you have any back issues and any of these exercises seem to not cooperate with your body, I'll try to give you different variations, but most of the stuff I think you'll be able to do. So we're going to start off with just a little warm up with a cat and a cow. So come on all fours, fingers apart. Your hands are just underneath your shoulders. And all I want you to do is lift your spine and lower your head, drop your hips, and then draw the belly to the ground, look up and lift your hips. Inhale and exhale. You can find your own pattern as far as how quickly you do this, but just warming up the spine. I have a little background music on. If you want to listen to your own music, that's fine too. So here we are. It's a beautiful day in Maine. It's in March. It's cold, a little windy. There's still snow on the ground. And life is good. So now we're going to come back to a neutral position. And I'm going to extend out my right heel and my left hand. My thumb is up on my hand just to have good alignment with my shoulders, and I hold. I'm trying to make my arm and legs long, my neck long, and then I'm going to release and switch, other side. Thumb up, heel extended, nice and long. Make sure you breathe, and release. Let's do one more of those on each side. Extend out your hand and your heel, nice and long, long spine, long neck. Release, and let's do the other side. Up and hold, and release. I'm going to come back into child's pose. Nice little stretch. And release. Since we're already in this position, let's go head down and we're going to do our first plank. My elbows are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to lift and hold. Check and make sure your bum's not too far in the air or you're not too saggy. Just nice and neutral here. So we're just going to hold, and don't forget to breathe. Make your shoulders strong. And a variation for this, if this gets too difficult, is just drop your knees. To make it a little more difficult, if you'd like, you can center one leg and lift the other. And we'll hold that for a few moments. Again, you can always drop to your knees, switch and hold, and release. Let's all drop our knees and go back into our child's pose. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and switch positions, and I'm going to start with my heels down, my knees are bent, and my arms are out. This is the easiest position. This is a little harder, and having your hands up is even harder. But for now, I'm going to start here since I'm just warming up. I'm going to keep my spine slightly rounded. We call that C-spine. And we're just going to go down a little bit, and I want you to lift. Depending on your fitness level, your ab fitness level, and also your back, will depend on how far down you can go. If you want to make this a little more difficult, you would go all the way down, almost touch, and just come up a little. Again, you would go down just all the way, touch, and back. More difficult is bring your hands over your head a little bit more, kind of your biceps close to your ears. So keep it simple, you decide. So level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4 I would say would be going deeper down and not so far up. So you're really engaged, and then at the end of this, what I'd like you to do here is just hold. You're going to keep your heels planted on the floor, even pushing them down, and just hold. If you get tired, you can always come up a little further. And now my torso and body is going to be still, but I'm going to lift my hands up a little higher and hold. We'll hold for about a count of 10, unless you want to go longer. And we'll just hold. You can really feel, I feel my abs working hard. I feel a little bit of flexors also working, but I'm really focusing on trying to get that core engaged. This is a very deep core exercise, very, very good. Good, and we're slowly going to release. I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm going to do a twist just to stretch it out a little bit. Pressing here, my fingers are back, good alignment, really nice posture. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch sides. And then come back to center. Next, I'm going to do a variation, we call it dead bugs or tabletop. So I'm going to come down, and if you notice, my thighs and my arms are pretty parallel. Level 1, you would just extend out a leg and come back, extend out a leg. What I'm doing here is taking the arch of my back and pressing it into the ground so it doesn't raise up. If I had a blood pressure cuff underneath my arch, I'd be trying to put as much pressure into that cuff as I could. So we're just holding this. This is level 1. Level 2, you can extend an arm. So you might extend the opposite arm, so left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. And if that's terribly confusing, you can just do both arms and one leg. So you pick whichever variation seems to work for you. Again, level 1 would be just legs. We can add those arms for level 2. And on level 3, you might do both legs, both arms. But again, I'm making sure that that arch stays down. Sometimes we do these weighted. You can have hand weights, you can have ankle weights, you can have both. And another variation would be doing a crunch on the top of this. Make sure you exhale. Please remember not to hold your breath while you're working out. It's very important to focus on your breath. All the way down and up. Variation 1 could be here. 2, 3. So you pick your variation. Rest if you need to. You can always add more tomorrow. We'll do just a few more here. And slowly release. I'm going to flip over and do just a little mini cobra to stretch my core. So I'm going to lie on my belly and just lift up through the elbows. My neck is aligned. If you want to do a straight arm cobra, you're welcome to. And I'm just going to hold here. And now I'm going to pull back once again into child's pose. And slowly release. Now you might have noticed that I'm working out next to my fireplace in my living room in my off-grid home. So it's our only heat source, so it has to be on. It's about 11 degrees out this morning, and I'm starting to get very warm, but that's okay. All right, next, we're gonna do some old-fashioned crunches with some new variations. So, I want you to start with your legs like so, 90-degree angle, and here. So first I'm just going to do a plain old-fashioned crunch. Notice the alignment, there's like a ball underneath my chin, elbows back. To the tempo of the music, I will go up, up, down and down. Don't quite touch. Up, up, and down. So I'm trying to stay engaged. Once again, look at the angle of my knees. If my knees were in here, it'd be a lot easier, so I'm keeping them away from me. I can make it even a little more difficult by bringing the knees further away. Up, up, down and down. Up, up, down. Now I'm going to kind of lift up my core, my lower core, and add a reverse crunch. Please don't use your neck as part of the exercise and do this. Keep those elbows back, and let's activate the lower core. I'm exhaling as I come up. Down, down, up, up. Let's do one more. Down, down, and up, up. Now remember the old-fashioned bicycles where we would do this a million times? One of the reasons that you could do a million of them is we made them kind of easy. What I want you to do, extend out one leg, but don't pull this knee in. Keep it away from you. Your elbow and shoulder are back like so, and the further this leg goes, wow, is my core activated right now. So I'm gonna hold, switch, switch. Don't forget to breathe. Shoulders and elbows in alignment. I'm supporting my neck, not pulling on it. Let's do one more. Now hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2. Now we're going to go for singles like this. Again, keeping the knees away from your chin. Let's do 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you smiling? 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Slowly release. I'm going to give my legs a hug, and I'm going to do what I call a poor man's massage. I'm going to make little circles and switch directions. And I'm going to take a full body stretch. Just nice and long arms, long legs, and hold. Good. Next, I'm going to take my legs and I'm going to bring them to one side like so. But notice that my shoulders are still down on the ground. I'm going to do another old-fashioned crunch. Looks like this. Up, up, down, down. So I'm working into the obliques. Exhaling as I come back. Check out the elbows and the shoulders. They're in alignment. I'm not pulling on my neck or doing anything weird with my elbows. Lift and lower. If you want to make this a little more difficult, you can begin to lift the legs too. And down, down. So up and down. Both shoulders rise together and down. Up and down. I'm focusing on the muscle. Put your mind to the muscle and make this work. Up and down. Now I'm going to hold it up and just hold for 8, 7. Do as much as you can. And take a rest if you need to. 4 more counts. 3. You can really feel that activate. And release. Beautiful. Switch sides. Other side. Up, up. Down, down. Up, up. Down, down. Up, up. And down. Both shoulders. And I'm going to begin to lift the feet if you can. If you can't, just stay with the feet down. Some of it has to do with flexibility. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down. 8 more. And 7, 6, 5. Stay crunching, stay crunching. After this, we're going to hold it. And ready, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5. You can always extend your arms if you want to make this more difficult. With my neck, I tend to like to support it, so I keep my hands supporting the neck and shoulder and head. And last 4, 3, 2, and release it. All right, nicely done. Next, we're going to do 2 more exercises. I'm going to bring back to that 90-degree angle, and I'm going to put my hands on right on my thighs in front of my knees. My core is engaged by pressing that arch down, And what I'm going to do, I want you to keep your head down. I'm going to push towards my feet. And I'm going to push my feet towards my shoulders for this isometric contraction. So ready, set, push. Now I want you to push as hard as you can. We're going to hold this for a little while. And if you notice, if you push really hard and pull your knees in towards your chest, you get like one of those holy cow moments. So just holy cow it and hold it for 8 more counts. Don't hold your breath. Don't worry, I'm counting. Look at my fingers, I'm counting. 4 more counts. Hold it, almost there. Oh my goodness, and release. I'm gonna stretch it. Now this is the same exercise, except here's what I'm gonna do. I take my right hand and put it on my left knee. Right hand, left knee. I extend out the opposite arm and leg. So I'm crossed here. You're gonna feel this more in the obliques. This leg's in the air. If you can't, you can always put it down. And once again, I am going to push. So I'm holding this, I'm pushing, and we're gonna hold for 8, 7, 6. Check your arch. Are you breathing? Almost there. 2 more counts. 1, and release. Good. My core is a little bit on fire right now, but I'm having fun. So now I'm gonna switch that. The other leg is out, the opposite arm and the opposite hand. You can lift your head, but I tend not to like to. So I'm going to go ahead and push, the other foot's up in the air, go. So we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Whew. Okay, one last exercise. Again, it's got 3 pieces to it, like this last one did. So I'm gonna go ahead, keep my heels down, my knees are bent, and I'm gonna put my forearms on the ground. There's variations to this to make it easier, but for now, I'm gonna show you what I want you to do. I want a C spine, which means rounded. My pelvis is almost up a little bit too, so I'm screwing that belly button in a little bit. From here, if I take away your elbows, can you stay right here? So watch what I mean. I'm gonna put my hands out and stay right here. If it's too hard, you can come up. So you might even have to hold on at first. That's okay, hold on lightly. So I always like starting from the bottom so I know where the bottom is. I'm rounded, my arms come out. Level 1, you'd be up further. Level 2, down. And here's what I want you to try to do with your hands. 1, 2, 3, and it's really hard back here. 1, 2, 3. Up, up, up. Down, down, down. 1 more. Up, up, up. That 1 more is a hold if you can. 8, 7, 6. Push those heels down. 4, 3, 2, and release it. Good. We're gonna do a variation on either side, and then we're just gonna stretch. So I like to start on the bottom, put my hands out. I'm gonna put my hand across and turn. So the hand that's crossing is on top, and you're gonna hold again. Level 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is where you hold. 8, 7, you can hold down here. You can even hold on if you need to. 4 more counts. 4, 3, 2, and release it. All right, 1 more time, other side. Start on the bottom, if you can. Check and make sure you're rounded. Hands come up, cross over, turn, hold it whatever level you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. All right, let's take another stretch. If you followed this and you did everything, you rock. If you didn't, you've got some goals, and we'll do lots of variations in the future. Now, as some of you know, I'm recording this in my off-the-grid cabin home that we built from scratch on our property in the mountains of Maine. We're in the middle of the coronavirus. We're all going a little crazy. This is our normal life. We have supplies for a few months. We have about 1,000 gallons of propane, 500 gallons of diesel, plenty of firewood, and plenty of food. During these times, I hope that I'm helping by keeping you healthy. We'll be doing things like cooking and what we do for off the grid, some breath work, and hopefully keep you active. So it's a great time to get in shape, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Let's go back and pull back into child's pose. Let's do a few cat and cows. So remember that this too will pass. Keep breathing, meditating, looking on some of the positive sides, spending time in meditation. Remember to keep your hearts open, send love and light to one another, and just know that I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And lots of love to you and your family. Namaste.